Hello friends, starting this July, there are specific actions on your phone that are now essentially banned for seniors. Not by law, but by the new rules that every financial expert, every federal agency, and now the banks themselves are telling you never to do again. Because these exact actions are how seniors are losing thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single phone call. The federal government just launched a brand new campaign specifically warning about this. Banks are changing their rules and deploying AI systems because of this. And the people behind these scams are more sophisticated in 2026 than anything we have seen before. Today, I am going through exactly what you must never do on your phone starting now, and then 4 other urgent changes this summer that directly affect your money, your Medicare, and your car. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel right now and turn on the bell. The information I am covering today is changing right now, and most people only find out after the damage is already done. Subscribe now and let's get into it. Let's start with the phone, because this is where the most urgent and most preventable damage is happening to seniors right now. On June 16th, 2026, just 2 weeks ago, the FCC launched what they are calling the Never Ever campaign in partnership with the Elder Justice Coordinating Council. The entire campaign is built around one rule that covers every government impersonation scam in existence. Write this down. No real government agency, not Social Security, not Medicare, not the IRS, not the FCC itself, will ever call or text you demanding payment by gift card, wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or cash. Never. Not once. Not under any circumstances. If someone calls claiming to be from any government agency and asks you to pay anything over the phone in any form, that is a scam. Hang up immediately. The FCC is also significantly upgrading what is called the Stir/Shaken framework this summer, a technical system that verifies whether the phone number on your caller ID actually belongs to the person calling you. Carriers are now required to block unverified calls at a higher rate, and carriers who knowingly allow fraudulent ROOC calls through their networks face increased enforcement. In practice, you will notice fewer obvious scam calls reaching your phone this summer, but the scammers who are still getting through are the most dangerous ones, operating through smaller carriers and internet-based calling systems that route around the traditional phone network, often using AI to clone the voices of family members or government officials. Here are the specific actions that are now essentially banned if you want to protect yourself. Never give your Social Security number, Medicare number, or bank account information to anyone who calls you. Legitimate agencies already have this information and will never ask you to confirm it over an unsolicited call. Never stay on the phone with someone who is creating urgency and demanding immediate action. Urgency and pressure are the primary tools of every phone scam ever run. Never call back the number that called you if you are even slightly suspicious. Always find the agency's official number independently and call that instead. And never pay any fee, fine, or debt over the phone using a gift card. No government agency on earth accepts gift cards as payment. Not for taxes, not for Social Security problems, not for anything. The FCC fraud hotline is 1888. Call FCC. Report suspected scam calls at reportfraud.fttc.gov. Now, let's talk about what your bank is doing in response to all of this, because some of it protects you, and some of it can catch you off guard in a way you need to understand. As of January 1st, 2026, more than half of all U.S. states have enacted safe harbor laws that give banks legal authority to delay transactions from senior accounts when their AI monitoring systems flag the activity as potentially suspicious. California's law, Senate Bill 278, requires banks to ask customers 65 and older to name a trusted contact person and to delay suspicious transactions of $5,000 or more for at least 3 business days. The bank gets legal immunity if they delay a transaction that turns out to be completely legitimate, which means their AI systems can now hold your money first and ask questions later. Here is what this looks like in practice. A senior in Illinois tried to wire $42,000, his own money, from his Chase account. The bank's fraud detection flagged the large withdrawal. His account was restricted for over a month. He could not pay bills, could not access his savings, and was living on a credit card while his money sat behind a counter he could not legally cross. A local news station had to intervene before Chase released the funds. This is not a story about fraud. It is a story about what happens when a bank's AI decides your legitimate transaction looks suspicious. The solution is simple. Add a trusted contact person to every bank and brokerage account account you own. Call your bank. Ask to add a trusted contact. Provide that person's name and phone number. If their AI flags a transaction, instead of a 15-day investigation, they call your trusted contact and verify your intent in minutes. It takes 10 minutes to set up, and it is the most important financial protection you can put in place this summer. Bank of America is rolling out 1,000 in-person fraud education seminars across the country through 2026. Chase has deployed a dedicated scam interruption team trained by behavioral psychologists. These are real resources. If your bank is hosting a local fraud awareness event, it is worth attending. The third change affects every senior who drives. Pennsylvania's Paul Miller Law took effect June 5th, 2026, making handheld phone use while driving a primary offense. Officers can pull you over solely for holding a phone with no other violation required. Fine starts at $50 plus court costs. Pennsylvania joins 27 states with primary handheld enforcement, including New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and Florida. On any summer road trip through the Northeast, keep your phone completely out of your hand while the vehicle is moving. Speed cameras and work zones are also expanding rapidly. Delaware activated live cameras on I-95 in late May 2026. $20 base fine plus $1 per mile per hour over the 55 miles per hour work zone limit. More than 10,000 violations were recorded in the first 3 days. Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Illinois have active work zone cameras mailing citations directly to registered vehicle owners without any police stop. Slow down at the first orange sign and hold that reduced speed until the work zone officially ends. The fourth change involves Medicare Part D, and a calculation most seniors on expensive medications are not yet making. As of 2026, the annual out-of-pocket cap for Medicare Part D is $2,100. Once your total spending on covered drugs hits $2,100 in a calendar year, every covered medication costs you $0 for the rest of that year. This is the first year the cap has been set this low, and it changes the math for anyone on expensive brand-name drugs. If you have already spent $1,000 or more on prescriptions this year, you may be closer to free medications for the rest of 2026 than you realize. Log into your Part D plan's member portal or call the number on your Medicare card and ask, how much have I spent toward my out-of-pocket cap this year? And how close am I to $2,100? The fifth change is one that most people associate with winter, but that is actually more accessible right now. LIHEAP, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, provides federal funding for energy costs, including summer cooling. Most people think of LIHEAP as a winter heating program. Summer applications are typically processed faster and with less backlog than heating season. If your household income is at or below 150% of the federal poverty level, you may qualify for help with air conditioning costs or electric bills this summer. Call the National Energy Assistance Referral Line at 1-803-42372 or search your state's name plus LIHEAP to find your local program. So here's the complete picture. Never pay any government agency over the phone in any form. The FCC's never ever rule covers every scam call ever run against a senior. Add a trusted contact person to every bank account this week to prevent your own money from being frozen under new safe harbor laws. Keep your phone out of your hand while driving. 27 states now have primary enforcement with instant fines. Check your Medicare Part D out-of-pocket progress toward the $2,100 cap. You may be closer to free medications than you think, and if summer electricity costs are straining your budget, contact LIHEAP now while the summer program is less backlogged than heating season. Subscribe, share this with someone you know who needs to hear it before summer ends. And I'll see you in the next